any progress this week?
You talking about on the Central situation?
Yeah.
They got 2 young ladies in custody.
Okay.
And word on the street is that it was it was personal. It was some as these type of things always are. It was like over some relationship or something.
You got to be kidding me, fam.
No, yeah. So
it wasn't about the car. It was about about some dick.
or it could have been another woman. Who knows? But that's the word on the street. But it is. Our school district was, and this didn't have nothing to do with the school district. It happened to happen at the basketball game.
Right.
And the school district been struggling for so many years, and now, they got the test scores up to where, we can get accreditation now, because we haven't had accreditation in years. They had accreditation since I was in high school, going to, Kansas City, Missouri School District.
Right.
So, the district was on the up, things were looking good, and then this happened. So, it's just another bump in the road for the school district that I'm sure they can get over, because they've been doing a good job.
Yeah, they got to get over that, because somebody sent that young lady out there, and that didn't happen. They were supposed to protect her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure about what the security measures were, about, and then what was weird was the superintendent was right around the corner. Actually, he was at the game, and he left the game.
Right.
So yeah, it's just unbelievable what's going on. It's just, people don't know how to resolve conflict. In the heat of the moment, they want to go, shoot somebody over whatever.
Right.
It's like, man, come on, man. You affected more than just yourself. This affects the whole city.
Yeah, it sure does, my man. Because I reached out to DL. He's supposed to reach back to me. I couldn't get in touch. The people from the radio station got with me, but my schedule was so insane I couldn't get back to them. And then I just realized, I said to myself, let me call him so that I could share this with the people and the people who listen, that in moments of things like this, you got to do it yourself. Even though you reach out to certain people, I'm glad I got back. But everybody doesn't take your crisis as their crisis, unfortunately. And I thought because I would say such and such passed away, a girl got murdered, that everybody would be on my damn phone line. Like Charlamagne didn't get back to me. Dio, we talked, he's supposed to get back to me. The radio station in Kansas City is supposed to get back to me. And I know these guys are busy, but it also proved to me that you got to do shit yourself.
Yeah, that's one thing that Shay's taught me. She, whenever she's gone, I got to come up with the content, because usually how our show goes is she comes up with the content and I do the production, and I run the board and do all of that. But she I added my little 2 cents or whatever when we're conversing on the show. But she does a lot of that stuff on her own. She gets the guests on her own. She comes up with the topics on her own.
Right.
So
now, let me ask you a question. You think we can get the gentleman whose sister passed away? You think we can get him on the show?
Possibly.
Let me get him on the phone.
I don't have any direct contact with him.
Oh no, I got his number.
Oh, okay. Who are you referring? You referring to? You talking about the G-Rap dude, the dude from Generation Rap that's on that. Generation Rap is like a high school show that we had on Hot 103. Did Shay tell you about that or something?
No. You got me. I think you got the whole show mixed up there. What I'm calling you about was a gentleman whose sister got murdered at a high school.
Yeah, at Central High School.
Right.
Yeah, and he reached out to Shay.
Okay, he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
He reached out to Shay because he was on he's on Generation Rap, which is another show that we have on the station on Saturday mornings.
Right.
So he reached, it was his sister.
Okay, so he did get on the show with Shay.
No, we didn't have a chance to get him on. But if this is the same gentleman, I think he reached out to Shay trying to see what he wanted. He didn't want to get on the show. He wanted us to talk about it, and we had already talked about it at that point.
Okay, I understand.
Because he was upset. He was upset that the superintendent came out and made a statement, and the superintendent they're emotional right now. That family's emotional, so they really wanted the superintendent to kind of just come out and be like, yeah, he wanted them to be on their side, for the most part. But the superintendent had to protect the school district. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And his message was condemning gun violence and trying to get the entire community to help. That was his message. So so
let me get him on the phone so you can hear. I want him to hear this from you.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Okay. Hold on. All right. Okay, I got everybody on the line. Everybody say their name again, please.
Hey, what's up? It's Brian B. Shining.
Okay, Twin?
Oh, this is Terry on.
Okay, so let me tell you what's going on, Terry. I got Brian from the radio station because I was trying to tell you last week I was going to try to get everybody on the phone to try to get you on the show. But Brian said that you had already talked to Shay already?
Yeah, I text Shay last week, I think. Yeah.
All right, cool. So Brian was explaining something to me about their decision on what they was doing. Brian, can you explain something from your angle?
Well, I think you were texting Shay about you wanted us to talk about it, right? The situation and the superintendent. And then I think by the time you had text Shay, we had already got on it, and we had played the superintendent's at least a piece of his press conference. And I know, first off, condolences to you and your family. We still praying for you. We still thinking about you in that situation. But the thing that I got out of it was that it was a cry for help for the community. I thought that he was saying that it's only so many things that the school district could do, and that situation was it wasn't out of their hands, so to speak, but I think that he was just asking for a cry for help from the entire city, from people at home, people in the community, neighborhoods, all of that, police department, everything. And I could see, and from your perspective, I could see how it might have been. He might have gave y'all a cold shoulder. I could see how y'all would say that because I don't think he was trying to deflect responsibility for the situation, but it just seemed like he was just asking for help. That's just what I got out of it.
So what has happened to you since the last time we talked?
Well, with them, nothing. Honestly, we ain't heard anything back. We just had a funeral today. But it was nothing like that we heard from like the school district or like the superintendent. Oh, we had a meeting with them. We had like a little meeting we were supposed to have with like Melissa and a few other people that was from down there that, for on his behalf, and they just didn't show up to the meeting. I mean, the meeting still went on, they just didn't show. And that was about it. So it's like when something is scheduled for them to attend, they don't attend, and they don't reach out, say why or nothing. They just go, they don't attend, then they'll set something else up and just still don't attend. And they don't reach out like to, to us directly to see how nobody's doing, see if nobody needs counsel, anything. It just, that was the issue. And the whole issue was, it could have been prevented if it was like, if the school district would have followed policy, honestly, like.
Because I think they're supposed to protect her. They weren't supposed to send her outside,
No, for sure.
That's where I'm
So there was an altercation inside, and they just kicked everybody out. Is that what happened?
Tell them what happened.
Yeah. Well, it was an altercation inside with the women and her, and they put us out the building. And, they were trying to, and then that's when Twin was telling the the police and the security guards like, hey, that girl said she got a gun, and if I come outside, she'll go kill me. And they just basically said they didn't care, and they put her out the door anyway. Took 2 steps out the door, and sure enough, they killed her. And they still didn't even come outside to help her. No security, no police, none of that. And it was another parent who was out there. She had pulled up in the parking lot to get her daughter that came out at the same time as us. They even talked at the funeral today and said she's seen it all, and she can vouch and say that nobody ever came outside to help her. We sat there till the ambulance came with her, and nobody came outside. And then the next day we get the superintendent saying, this is not a school district's problem, this is a community problem. Like, how? Like,
I could definitely understand your point of view. I really can, man, because, you sitting here dealing with, a death, an unfortunate death, an untimely death, and then you got to hear that.
Right, but listen to what happened now. Me being a parent, I think everybody, I'm quite sure I'm older than all of y'all, but as a parent, you send your kid to school, and they're supposed to protect your child. These people put his sister out to school, and all they had to do, right, and they could have just kept her in there and called police to come to escort her off the campus, the thing. It could have been so many different ways, and that wasn't done, and that's why I wanted to bring it to people's attention. Like, I reached out to DL. We talked for a minute, but his schedule is crazy, twin. I talked to Charlamagne. I reached out to Charlamagne. His situation is crazy. And what I just realized, like I was telling B earlier, in life, when you have a crisis, to all my listeners who are listening to this episode of the Justice for Twin, and I had to do this again, what this has taught me, no matter how serious things are to you, is not to other people. So, Twin, what you're doing, you got to keep striving hard. And you reached out to me. I'm one of the people who get back to you eventually. And people, you just got to keep doing what you got to do to bring justice for the death of your sister, fam. And what you was going to say, Brian?
I was going to say, man, that narrative, man, is so unfortunate, especially with our community. Not only with black people, but with the Kansas City community. He knows that here, everybody knows everybody. Like, seriously, from the Kansas side to the Missouri side. Okay. So one death sends, it truly affects everyone here, because you on Facebook and you on Instagram and you seeing all these messages, and it's like you know somebody in those messages and how it affects them. Right. So it's like that narrative, it has to stop. Especially with our community, especially here in this city, it's different. I feel like it's a little different in bigger cities, but here it affects everyone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate because when Twin reached out to me, B, and he sent me the picture, he told me everything. I was like in shock. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And don't get me wrong, people die every day and all that kind of stuff, but when I heard it was from the school, it's from the school. It happened at school. They sent her out, and nobody protected her. That's where I took it left a real bad taste in my mouth for that, It left a real bad taste.
And you know what? There was a situation. I'm not trying to divert, but there was a situation this past weekend, or last weekend, a week ago, where there was an argument in the club, and they kicked the people out who had the argument. Next thing you know, 2 blocks down from the club, 2 people are shot, one person is dead.
Wow.
So, this situation, there has to be some type of protocol, as to handle these type of situations, because unfortunately altercations are going to happen.
Right.
That's just the nature of being, human beings.
Right. Yeah.
But there has to be some type of proper protocol, and this club has. I DJ at this club all the time. It has proper security. It has police officers outside. But when you disperse people and kick them off your property or whatever, you have to be aware that, it doesn't just stop when you kick them off the property.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying? So we just got to do a better job of that, man.
And to the people listening, we gotta. Oh, no, go ahead, Bree. I'll let you finish. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. I was just gonna say, and let's not let this young sister die in vain. Let's use this as an opportunity to teach ourselves to combat this and not let this happen again to someone else.
Yeah, but it always falls on deaf ears. And you know what I've seen in life is that people do not know how to control their emotions.
Right.
Their emotions is what puts people in bad situations, and they think about the consequences afterwards. Now, I can say that because I used to be that kind of guy. I used to be the kind of guy that you start some shit with me or do something, or I would do it and then be sorry afterwards. And that's half of the world, right? And to the people listening, I want to explain to people, from jealousy to rage, if you take the time to say to yourself, what are the consequences? What will happen to the people around me if I do this? Because it's a domino effect, like in twin situation. His sister is deceased. A girl is locked up in jail. I'm quite sure she might be a mother to a child or somebody. That child life could be fucked up. And it's just a crisis right behind one another. And this show today, and then I'm thinking about the direction I want to take it. Even though twin sister's gone, a lot of people in my family has been deceased. And Brian, I want people to control their emotions. And when you hear this show today, the next day after this, or the day after, or the next year, I want y'all to think about what I'm saying about control your emotions. If someone makes you mad, you got to walk away. I tell the story. I did this on Vlad TV last week. In my lifetime, I've been jumped twice. I had a guy in L.A. and a group of gentlemen jumped me over a female. Both times have been about a female. Nobody wanted to give me a fair one, fight me straight up one-on-one. And it seems like that's, when I tell it to people, they say, yo, TK, ain't nobody going to fight you fair. And I just come from, I'm not jumping nobody. I ain't bringing a group of men to help me fight. If we got a beef, we going at it. I'm too old to be fighting now. That's like, I'm just saying, I don't even want nobody to try to test me, because I'll use every vocabulary I've ever met in my life to get out of a fight, because I know the consequences. Most people go to a fight thinking it's going to be a fight, but a wrong punch, or it could be manslaughter, or you get your ass whooped, you run to your car and get a gun and try to shoot the person that you're mad at and accidentally shoot an innocent bystander. So I just want people to control their emotions and think about it. And like I was saying about the two men, one happened maybe back in the 80s. Another one happened like in 2014. Both times over females, y'all. One dude of them jumped me. Another dude snuck up behind me, hit me head of a pipe over a bitch that don't even belong to him. He was engaged to another nigga. But because the bitch chose me, the nigga had rage in him, right? To this day, gentlemen, to this very day, I have to pray 2 or 3 times a day not to kill them. To this day. And it hurts like hell. When I say it hurts like hell to fight it, but I see myself in a jail cell sometime, right? And I hear myself talking to the man, talking to God. And he's saying to me, I gave you all these opportunities to succeed in life, and you made a bad decision. I see it. Like, I hope it doesn't come true, and I hope not. But I see this, and it keeps me from not going after them for revenge. And every day, every week, every month, every year, God keeps giving me better opportunities to better myself, things to say, I'm proud of you, don't go that route. Because I really think he knows I would do it. So I can't turn my back on him. So I'm using you guys, I'm using your situation, unfortunately, for somebody down the line who will hear this show, that if they get mad at someone, even if someone snitches on you and you have hate, it's still not worth going to try to kill that person. It's not.
Right. Yeah.
You know
what,
it
TK,
really isn't.
TK, I'm not saying it's all your responsibility, but we need OGs like you to help these young fellas out, because they don't know, like they're 18, 19, 20 years old, and they don't. Sometimes they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. They live a certain type of life, and they think that, okay, this is the end all be all. This is how I'm gonna do it. When really, you have an opportunity to get out of that a little later on. You're a baby. You're only 18, 19 years old.
Right.
You're not mature enough yet to really see what you can be. You know what I'm saying? You fresh out of high school. So, it's important, and I'm glad that you're talking about this, because this is important in our community, that we have OGs really come out and try to school the younger men in our communities to let them know that this is not the end of the road, man.
Right, it sure isn't, my man. It isn't, It's just, I'm just, and Twin, again, I feel sorry for your sister, my man. I know that has to hurt, because like I said, I lost my brother to the police. The police shot my brother like 7 times and killed him. So this happened like in 95. And it was just a real heart painful situation. But you learn to grow, and you learn to try to do the right thing. And can you walk away, if you don't mind, from the person that's talking to you in the background? Because we're picking them up.
Wait a minute.
Okay. Yeah, so, fellas, this is, hopefully when people... Now, Twin, do you need to get on the show to really... I'm trying to get you on the show up there. Why didn't you want to go? Because I think you should go. You don't want to go on the radio show to talk about it?
Oh, I will.
B, can we set that up? Can y'all exchange numbers after we get off the phone after the air? Because I don't want nobody to have you guys' numbers on the air. Exchange numbers.
Yeah, we can exchange
can we schedule an interview?
Yeah, we can exchange numbers. And we'll go from there.
Yeah, that's all you could do. All we could do is try, because like I said, Twin, you got to remember, everybody is not going to give you what you think you should get, unfortunately. We think it should be that way, but it's not, yo. I remember I used to catch cases back in the day, right? And I would go way above and beyond. But none of those people could do nothing for me. I had to actually go through the fire myself, and it worked out for me. Your situation with your sister, all we want is justice. Like, we got the girl who did the shooting, but I think the security guard that told her to leave should be held accountable. This is my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that person is what we consider an adult and security guard. You are there to protect the kids. And I really would like to know how that person feels, to know that she told that kid to go out and that kid got killed.
Right, I do too.
Yeah, I don't know if I can live with that. I told somebody to leave and they got shot. But the way people think today, just crazy. We have this generation over the last 20 years, the moral thinking and responsibilities have gone to the toilet.
Right, for sure.
It really has. You got kids having kids. They don't know how to raise their children. You got certain situations where, like, this girl sent this girl out not thinking of the consequences of what could happen to this beautiful sister. Now, Bree, he was also telling me that his sister who got shot was involved, and apparently they was in a stolen vehicle. And his sister told, and this girl was mad. This girl was mad that she said something about it. That's why the girl wanted to shoot her. Am I correct, Trent?
No, she didn't. She just said it wasn't hers. And the girl wanted her to say it wasn't hers.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And so the girl got mad because she wanted she wanted your sister to take responsibility for something that she didn't do?
Right.
Wow.
Mm.
That's crazy. And V, if you saw a picture of his sister, she only weighed like 90 pounds.
Yeah. I saw her picture inside KansasCity.com. It's a Kansas City Star.
Right.
And,
yeah,
various
girl.
pictures on Facebook. Yeah. Young lady had her whole life ahead of her.
Yeah, right. A little young lady, yo. Now, was your cover with insurance and everything, Troy?
No, she didn't have any insurance.
So how did y'all bury her?
People were, donations and GoFundMe.
Okay. So let this be a lesson to you, too. I don't know if you listen to my show all the time. I talk about having life insurance. You ever heard my podcast and my stand-up where I talk about y'all got to start having life insurance?
Yeah. You
got to have it, my man. It doesn't cost that much, $10, $20 a month.
Right.
You can't walk around here not being insured. To the people who listening to you, Twin, to you 2B, you can't be walking around here not being insured. You got to be insured so it takes pressure off people. That's a horrible, horrible, horrible situation to be in, that someone passes and then you got to make all these phone calls to ask for help. Because nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Just the immediate family, but nobody cares, yo. Nobody cares. But I do, and that's why I got y'all on the phone. I care. And to the people who listening, you have problems, I would try my best. I swear to you. I would try my best to help out. I would do the best that I can that's humanly possible. To the fans around the world, I wanted to do this show again, a part 2 of Justice for Twin, to get my man on the radio so he can try to bring justice to the security guard that got his sister murdered at the school. I need everybody just to remember, control your emotions. Remember, follow me on Instagram at TK_Kirkland, where I post the book of the month and talk about getting your credit together. And I'll be talking about life insurance, people getting insured, because that's my goal, is to get people insured and protect that. You can start generational wealth and not be walking around this fucking country broke, or your grandkids broke, going into another 50 to 100 years in this place called life. To the fellas, God bless. I'm gonna click over the phone, and then I'm gonna call you guys back so y'all can exchange information. And Brian, you try to get him on the show this week, and so he could talk about it on the show again, and we'll rock it from there.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Everybody, you're welcome, my man. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the TK Kirkland podcast from Compton, California, to Jersey City, New Jersey, to London, England. This is the TK Kirkland Show, and may your pain be champagne. We out, guys.
Make sure you follow TK Kirkland on Instagram at TK_Kirkland for more information about upcoming events and more. Visit www.officialtkkirkland.com.
This episode of the TK Kirkland Show was produced by Chris Thomas, executively produced by Charlemagne the God. This is an official Loudspeakers Network production. Speakers Network production. Speakers Network production. Speakers Network production.